welcome to the special Corona edition of the Practice Odyssey. So, due to the strange times that we are in, we decided to postpone our usual fortnightly Odyssey.
Odyssey. That sounds
funny. Odyssey on some crazy book. Although now that I think about it, Alex, this would have been a perfect time to do something like Tuffanel and Gobert. Because what do we have else to do except play 15 hours of scales every day? I mean, really.
The neighbors will love us.
That's why we decided not to do it. So our neighbors wouldn't... I mean, burn us at the stake.
Maybe leave very passive-aggressive notes on our doors. So,
well, how does your neighbor react? Passive-aggressive vacuuming. That's what yours does.
Yes, and she already did today. So if she does it a second time, then I know for sure that it is passive-aggressive vacuuming. So
passive-aggressive vacuuming. Be warned, people. It's a thing. If you hear that, you know it's got serious. Yes, so here we are. For your enjoyment, we have a few... we decided to do an episode on how we are going to be practicing our social distancing during this, however long you got to social distance for. To be honest, Alex, we haven't really started the full-on social distancing yet in Cambodia.
Well, so far in Germany, as many of you may have already seen on the news, they were saying that, well, basically all of our bars and restaurants and forms of entertainment have been shut down, which is great. I'm for social distancing encouragement. Not so great for any extroverts out there like me who are dying at home and just FaceTiming everyone they know. But then also trying to be productive, because I'm very productive when other people are around. However, when I'm stuck in a room and left to my own devices, it is so hard to stay on topic. I mean, luckily, practicing, I'm kind of used to that setup. But when it comes to doing other things, it's always easier for me if I can talk it out with someone or do it at the same time as someone. So, or actually kind of harkens back to when Jen and I, when we would work together in the library on our master theses.
Oh, yeah.
It would always help me stay more focused. So, so here in Germany,
good time.
Those were so good times. Those were good times.
Full of coffee, those times were.
Oh, it's such good coffee. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so Germany had a rule that groups of 6 could meet up, but at the time of us recording this podcast, they actually switched the rule or changed it, and now it's groups of only 2 are allowed out in the world to be seen together.
Oh, out in the world. Okay. So if your family is larger than 2, then you don't have to separate the house or
as far as I know,
create a line where you cannot pass or something like that.
No, I think the families can still stay together. It's just if they go out in public, they can only be in groups of 2. So,
wow.
Yes. I think sometimes if it's like a small child, maybe they make an exception for the rule. But I do know it's being quite heavily enforced to the point where the woman who I normally meet up with once a week to work on our German grammar together, she did not want to meet this week because she was worried about getting stopped by the police on her way over. So... So yeah, it's a little strict over here. Luckily, where we live here in Ravensburg, we're close to some like nice little greenery, so we can walk through our little piece of forest, and it's quite nice. And there's nobody else around, so we can still have some nature time. And luckily, the weather is beautiful. It's been sunny, albeit cold, but very sunny, so makes it not so dreary. But yeah, so
nice.
Yeah.
That does sound really good. Yeah, we don't have that.
It's just hot in Cambodia.
It's just hot, and there's like lots of streets and not many parks.
Oh gosh.
I recently increased our balcony garden, so now I'm the proud owner of 3 palm trees and a jasmine plant and 2 bamboo. So I look at them, see them. So that's my.
Does the jasmine smell amazing?
It does actually. It smells pretty. It's like night blooming. So with the windows open at night, just wafts by. Very nice. I think I'm going to get another 10. They smell amazing.
I know. In Australia, Roz, the woman I lived with, she had a jasmine tree, and it was outside my room, and it was just the most beautiful smell. Anyways, so back on topic. So Jen and I have made this nice little list of Corona resources out there that we have discovered over the week to help any of y'all in your day-to-day self-quarantine. But yeah, I think we've got a pretty good list here of different things that we have found useful.
Well, we were comparing notes, so we went away and we kind of collated all the ideas that we'd had for what to do if we get stuck inside for 2 weeks, which for me hasn't happened yet. I can still go out and about a bit. I mean, most things are shut down, but you can still kind of go around in small groups and stuff. But in case we got stuck in our house, like full on lockdown, I made a list and I started figuring out things I could do. And also, of course, a lot of things have stopped, like rehearsals and things like that. So I have a lot more spare time, as everyone does at the moment, particularly arts industry. We've really things have got pretty grim. I started looking at stuff I could do, projects I could get involved in myself. And you did too, Alex. You went away and did that as well.
We did it was very much an Alex and Jen approach to each one too. Because for me, I just, I do love my workouts, but I also just love taking in knowledge. And so I feel like a lot of mine are very research based, whereas yours are very practice oriented and cool projects you can do with yourself and your instrument. I think it's really neat how we're friends, but we approach things differently, which is really awesome. So
same but different.
Yeah, same but different.
Yeah, so it's good because we've ended up with 2 completely different lists. So I'm looking forward to finding out what Alex is planning to do and get some inspiration from her. And then hopefully I've found some things which she's not aware of and she can play around with as well. And hopefully you guys can all discover something new, and maybe this will while away some very slow afternoon.
Yes.
Anyway, what do you want to start with, Alex?
Well, on my Facebook feed, it was circulating around that JSTOR, the portal online for research papers, was allowing people to access their stuff for free, where you could just read research papers and not have to have a uni ID or have to pay for the subscription, which I thought was pretty sweet.
That is awesome.
So yes, I tried it out, and I went online and I typed in all of my infos, and it totally works. So I was pretty excited because sometimes you'll see things cited in newspapers, and for me at least, I always want to go to the original source and see what they said as well. So a few of the ones I've put in my wish list to read include, there's one by Robert Dick, Acoustics, Real Life, Real Time, Why the Flutist and Flute Had to Evolve, which I think should be really, really interesting, why it can't just, remain stagnant. And then another one for all my Betty Bang Mather fans out there, holler. Hold
on, can you say more about Betty? Because I've never heard of Betty Bang.
Well, at least where I studied at my undergraduate in North Texas, the University of North Texas, we have to do a summer where it's basically just for a whole month research and gather all books related to woodwind instruments. And it's a huge, intense project. One of the big researchers that comes up in almost all the books is Betty Bang Mather. And so when I saw Betty Bang, I'm guessing this is the same one before she got married or after she got divorced. I need to look that up. But because I've always heard her name with Dr. Betty Bang Mather. So, but I'm guessing there's not that many Betty Bangs writing about flute in the world. Or maybe this is a really big coincidence and I'm not aware of it.
Maybe there's a whole Facebook group we're unaware of.
Exactly. But yeah, she has a 2-page article in there, which was a nice little article to kind of peruse over, and I'm reading later tonight with maybe some chocolate, called A Summer in Germany with a One-Keyed Flute. So
Ooh,
that also sounded really
title.
Cool. Yeah. And you don't hear...
A one-keyed flute. Does that mean Baroque?
I believe so. Well, I'm going to find out tonight. I'm very excited. But
okay, cool.
Whenever I hear one-keyed flute over here, it's usually a Baroque flute that just has that that
Yeah.
key on the
The
end.
the pinky
Yeah,
key.
exactly. The pinky key
yeah.
lover thing. Maybe listeners, you could have a read of some articles online and get back to us about which ones were your favorites to read. Because there were tons.
Man.
There were some really catchy names as well. However, I also, for listeners who've been listening for a while, I also typed in Reichert, and there was nothing.
Yes. What?
Right? Like, I don't know if I need...
Alex, I sense a PhD on your horizon. Seriously,
Don't tempt
man.
me.
Oh, I'm tempting you right now.
A few years in Brazil.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that would be so good. But maybe I just
That could be your lock-in project, right? Your PhD application.
And also a listener wrote in last week, Elise. Hey, Elise, if you're listening, and was talking about how she was listening to the Reichert episode, and she was talking about a masterclass she went to where the French professor actually pronounced it Reichert. So now I'm curious because he came from the Netherlands, or from Amsterdam.
Oh.
So how would they say it? Now I'm like, am I just like been butchering his name this whole time? I was just approaching it with a German.
We need to find someone who speaks Netherlandish or Dutch, as I believe it's called.
Oh my gosh, Netherlandish.
All of
It's
my
amazing.
Dutch friends are now instantly excommunicated.
Amsterdam has left the chat. No.
Yeah.
No, we're
They have
sorry.
left
come
the
back.
union.
Yeah.
They've Brexited.
They've Brexited. Oh no.
Oh, I'm sorry. No politics. No politics. Oh no, cross the line. Okay.
But yeah, so anyways, so that I figured I found that out. So yes, please let us know if you know the proper way to say Mr. Reichert's name. We will post that on our podcast next time we talk. So, but yeah, so the next thing that I thought might be a nice kind of practice-based, kind of just fun to play around with, is that a bunch of posts that the flutist Paul Edmund Davies has been posting on his Facebook. For those who don't know who Paul Edmund Davies is, he's a staple in the flute world. He's an amazing pedagogue, and he's just a phenomenal teacher and performer and just all-around flute player. So,
Yeah.
and just a very positive. Jen and I were lucky enough to have a master class with him when we were in London, and it was just, he was so positive and had such a wonderful way to approach all these different ideas and fundamentals on the flute, and it was just it was really cool.
Yeah.
And he bought us pizza, which was awesome. he bought us so much food.
I know.
Actually, it was like a beautiful food day. Now that I think of it, we had Asian food to start, and then we went to a pub, and then we had pizza.
It was great. It was great.
That was so good.
And he gave us champagne as well. It was amazing.
That's right. We did a champagne test, and he told us about the proper way to grind coffee. It made us fresh coffee.
Right. So
But anyways, getting back. So Paul right now on Facebook is vlogging almost every day and talking about different techniques on the flute. So he had a day or two of how to work on your throat flutter tonguing. And then
yes.
And then this latest one, he just came out with 10 different exercises on warm-ups and shared the PDFs for free. He's like, here's a video how to do this, how to approach it. Here are the PDFs. Happy quarantine. And also just some coffee time stories. He did one about Harry Potter, which I'm saving for a rather bleak morning when I need a pick-me-up. So
Oh my gosh, yes.
But yeah, he's coming out with lots of content. So if you don't already follow our friends with Paul Edmund Davies on Facebook, do yourself a favor and get on that, because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then the last flute-related thing I had that I've been finding useful throughout this quarantine is listening to podcasts, which aren't necessarily flute or music related, but you can find those online. And there's actually, besides, of course, our podcast, The Practice Odyssey, which is great. If you're already subscribed, we love you. But there's also a few other ones out there that I've listened to in the past and have really enjoyed. There is, and I'll put all of these podcasts in the show notes. So if you don't have to worry about spelling, just check the show notes. They'll be in there. The first one is Talking Flutes, and it's hosted by Claire Southworth, who is the flute professor at the Royal Academy of Music. And she just kind of gives general flute playing tips and interviews with other flutists and musicians. And I believe because of that, I learned about the music program Encoda, which is the one I was telling you, Jen, which is basically a Audible, but for sheet music. So you can pay a monthly subscription and have access to hundreds and hundreds of different types of sheet music. So,
whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I did the free 2-week trial and it was quite good. However, I'm a fan of my Scribd or Scribd. I'll put that also in the show notes, which is a similar thing, but it also comes with audiobooks, regular books, little blinks and everything. So that one's also been Talking Flutes, but she does a nice job. They're always really fun to listen to. One podcast that does shorter snippets that are usually about 5 to 7 minutes long is Be Your Own Manager by Bernhard Kerres. And he's a German or Austrian who just basically helps musicians in these episodes by giving little tips on how to be your own manager. And he's an artist manager. I think he manages Jasmine Choi. But so he gives you all these free tips, and they're really effective and helpful. So. And then the last two, the first one is by another Texan, or someone who studied and works as based in Texas, is Flute 360 by Heidi K. Begay. And she just has a lovely voice, I have to say. And it's just so easy to listen to her talk about flute, and she does really interesting interviews. One that I really liked was her interview with Robert Dick as well. So that was another really nice one. And the last podcast, it's called Sticky Notes, the Classical Music Podcast. And I think it's just a really nice, they go about it by introducing different classical music works and kind of explaining the structure with sound clips as well, so you can hear it. So they did a whole atonal music, like how to help people who are not musicians appreciate atonal music, which was really interesting. And then he also did one on the Bach cello suites, I think, as well.
Oh, beautiful.
But yeah, it's one that my husband and I both listen to. It's not too it's good for people who don't do music as their career as well. So yeah, that one's also really good.
Wow.
And then my last thing, I know, there's so much, but I'll wrap it up.
This is great. Oh, I've got so much to do now. I'm going to need a whole 6 months of quarantine to get through all this.
Don't joke. It may happen.
Oh yeah, gosh. Don't joke. Touch wood.
I know. Okay, and then under general things that I've been doing for the quarantine is I've been doing little workouts with my friends online. So I have a girl that I go to Zumba with here in Ravensburg because my mother does Zumba, so I do Zumba too. So what we've been doing is we made some YouTube playlists, dancers, so like the Fitness Marshall and some other ones online. Fitness Marshall is just hilarious. So and Cassey, even though she's not really into dance, she does a lot of strength exercises and cardio. And then when we turn on our videos and we do the workouts together. So
that's really fun.
Yeah, because working out is the community aspect of it. So you work out with a friend and you can chat a bit, and it takes your mind away from the potential pain that you're in because you're doing 100 crunches or something. So when I'm in my room by myself, I focus on that quite quickly, and it's a nice mindful exercise as well. But people have been using Fitness Blender. I have not tried it, but it is on my list of things to try. So if you're feeling like
look it up too.
Yeah. They've got free 30 and 60-minute workouts, I think. So I haven't tried it yet. And of course, you can always do yoga online too. But I'm lucky enough that my sister just got certified as a yoga teacher. So if I can coerce her into teaching my yoga class for me, it's just it's a win. So
it's a win.
My list, everything I listed above is free. So feel free to just go nuts and do any of those or find any of the things and use them as you see fit. What are you finding that works out well for passing quarantine?
I came at this from a different angle. So this was more like those projects which you've always wanted to do. So of course, first up, my first resource to go to is Imslp, that beautiful resource of online music, which is all copyright free. Yes. Although it does alter depending on which country you're in. So just check the warnings, but they make it really clear about which countries would be out of copyright in and which it wouldn't yet be out of copyright.
Yeah, and they have the countdowns too, which I thought was really cool. So you can now type in a piece, and sometimes it'll say like this piece goes out of copyright in so many years, and so many months, and so many days. Yeah. So exactly.
I'm just waiting for Piazzolla.
I know.
What do we only have 10 more years?
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't wait that long. Yeah, so Imslp. Basically, yeah, you can find all of this out of copyright music. So you got all your classics you can play. There's just so much stuff. And they've also got, people have written transcriptions. It wasn't originally for flute. You can go on and often there'll be a really cool arrangement with another set of instruments and flute, which brings me on to there was this really, I don't know whether people have seen this yet, but there was this really cool done by the Toronto Symphony Orchestra where they basically recorded, they recorded by Copeland, all from different rooms in their houses scattered all over this city, and then it all got compilated together. So, how about you contact those university friends from past years and get some chamber music going? So, how they...
Jen.
Yeah, I know. Project Alex.
I know.
Is they all had the score, and he created an audio file of the score, and with a click track rhythm to synchronize the tempo. So everyone just had that in their ear, and then they recorded it on their mobile phones or whatever they had in front of them, and then someone synced it all together. Anyway, that's how you can make beautiful music together from very, very far away. So that was a project perhaps we could come up with, Alex. Maybe
that could be our inaugural Instagram video.
That could be really fun. Anyway, so... and many other orchestras all around the world have made their online. So Berlin Phil's got like a month of free membership to their online database of live concerts.
Oh yeah, Marco, when I saw Swore Angelica, it was awesome. So
I know. Basically, I've just been binging this. It is so great.
Oh my god.
So I'm making the most of it because normally it's like pretty expensive to subscribe to. So I'm really living it while I can. So yeah, just hop online, find recordings, and the great thing playing, and I really like watching the players and how they communicate and how they're playing together. Watching the body language is just really, really educational, actually, how they're doing that. So I've been really enjoying that. If you're getting very bored from Imslp, you can just like download a song, and then if you hop on YouTube, some fantastic pianist will probably have recorded the accompaniment for it. So you can play a bit of flute karaoke, why not? Yes. Why not? And also, if you're feeling really studious, you can practice your excerpts with full orchestral backing, which some amazing person has created.
We're looking at you, Christina. Bran.
I know. Someone has put together the entire for both of the Mozart concertos.
Oh my gosh!
So you could you could seriously do some serious score studying and get brushed up ready for when all those auditions come back online. Hopefully. My lock-in project, it's a bit of a beast, hence why it's my lock-in project. My aim is using Garageband, and you could probably do it. What's the Android version of Garageband? What does Windows have?
On Windows.
Oh, well, there you go. So this is my plan: Daphnis and Chloe by Ravel. I am going to learn all 4 flute parts, and I am going to record them one at a time on top of each other. So at the end, I should have a whole track of all 4 flute parts.
Oh my gosh. It's going to be phenomenal.
Ask me if I've gone insane by the end of it. And also there's a heck of a lot of piccolo in that, so I don't know whether my neighbours would have killed me by then. If you don't hear from me, you know what's happened.
The police have come. No.
The military police have been called.
Oh my gosh.
My piccolo has been removed from the premises.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so that was my thought. But I mean, if I get that done and I'm still in lockdown, then I've got the Firebird. I could put in all the flute and piccolo parts, and man, I'm gonna know this inside out by the end of it. Anyway, so
yes.
I was like, why not is the question. And then just today, I found the little genius thing to help me practice it. It's this little app called Looper.
Ooh.
It is not free, but you can buy it for $8, which I think is a worthy cause for possibly endless afternoons of entertainment. Tom and I were trying it out this afternoon. I'll play you a little snippet of what we came up with.
Soda can. Soda can. Soda can.
I think he was singing about coffee, and then it was like, got no caffeine or something in it.
Oh my gosh.
It's got like 6 little loops, and you can just re-loop sounds over and over and over the top of it. So I was thinking, look, you just record the first flute part of the Daphnis and Chloe, and then you can set it as your practice against all those funky times, like when the first flute has that offbeat solo, and the piccolo has the solo.
Yeah. Okay, homework for you, because I'm looking forward to hearing that already.
It should only take a week. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But I could be going loopy. I could be going loopy at the end. But then, maybe you could just get creative and create your own flute loop. Flute loops.
There is a podcast called Flute Loops, or a YouTube channel. I forget it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that's all I've got in terms of things to do. I guess we could move on to some little jokes I've collected. Because, of course, what is a crisis without some terrible flute jokes?
Yes.
Is what I asked you.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for your flute jokes. Okay, people, we'll leave a pause in case you would like to guess as well before Jen gives me the answer. And I will counter with a flute joke too. So.
Okay, cool. Okay. What's the definition of a minor second?
Minor second. It's sad.
No.
I don't know.
It's 2 flutes playing in unison.
No!
Okay, that was my first one.
That was amazing. Okay,
You're welcome.
My first joke. Okay. Oh, this is really on point with our little podcast. What does a flute player eat for breakfast?
Yeah! I want that on a t-shirt. I think it'd be great.
That is so good.
Okay. We'll keep in the food theme. What musical instrument would a cucumber play? Okay. Oh no. Marco, to all those who don't know, loves a good pun.
Let's see. Why was the flutist arrested?
Oh. I don't know.
Because he was in trouble.
Oh, they're so bad. Okay, this one's a bit dark. How do you get 2 piccolos to play in unison?
Oh, I've heard this one. You shoot one.
Yeah,
no,
you shoot one. Yeah, I know. So mean.
Oh my gosh.
So true.
Oh, hey, Jen. Did you hear about the flutist who played in tune?
No.
Neither did I. So bad.
Oh my gosh. And then I think we'll finish off with a classic. Why did the chicken cross the road?
To play the flute?
To get away from the flute recital.
To get away from the flute recital?
Ah, so much flute hate out in the world.
I know. It's not okay, people. Well, we hope you enjoyed this special edition of our Practice Odyssey podcast. Corona resources and bad music jokes. If you want to subscribe to us, you can find us on YouTube and on most places where you can find your podcasts. And our show art today was from Ivan Potter. I wrote our theme music. Our new theme music is from Jen and Tom. And we hope you all are staying healthy and are just, doing the best you can out there. These are hard times for everyone. And we're here. The Practice Odyssey send you guys a big virtual hug, which is okay. Virtual hugs have not been banned yet. So, and if you want to write to us and let us know how you're spending your time, please write to us at thepracticeodyssey@gmail.com. Anyways, have a good day. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you next time.
Soda can.